What's good, Osiris here, stuck in the middle. If you're taking your time to listen to this, much thanks to you. I appreciate it. Please comment on what you think about Dr. Seuss. These videos that I do are kind of like old school episodes of The Simpsons. They can start out one way and then take a hard turn in the middle or right after the intro, and this will be no different. Here's a picture of Candace Owens and her husband. I am not a religious man. I do have faith. I do believe in God. I am not an atheist. I just don't trust the story of God as told through humans. Here's a picture from Twitter in response to a comment made by Candace Owens from a man who purports himself to be able to help translate the word of God to help people better themselves. Bishop Talbert Swan. If I don't trust the story of God as told through humans, why would anything else be different? I put my faith in what I see, what I read, and my ability to think critically. Thank the Lord for parents, siblings. I have two brothers, family members, friends growing up all throughout the years. I've always associated myself with people who were not afraid to go against the grain or think critically, not just to do it just because, but because when you think critically through something, you might have questions or you might have a different perspective. Man, I can't imagine going through the world as a lemming right now because you're being led off a cliff. So when Joe Biden decided to omit Dr. Seuss from his proclamation to celebrate Read Across America, I don't automatically trust that he has my best interest in heart. I don't trust that he has the best interest of children in heart, including my two young sons. You see, the reason why people don't trust our government right now is because everything is politicized. Impeachment, pandemic, education, government agencies like the FBI. And this case is no different right here. I have faith in what I can see. My wife and I both grew up on Dr. Seuss, just like many of you listening right now. We're raising our kids on Dr. Seuss. Not only have we never encountered racist things in Dr. Seuss, these books are special. Unlike many other children's books, they bring something out in kids. Imagination. It's almost like these books speak the language of 2-year-olds or 1-year-olds or 4-year-olds. They're pure brilliance. Some of these books I've read are not just good children's books. These are some of the best books I have ever read across of any genre for any person. Dr. Seuss, when I first think of Dr. Seuss that comes to my mind is poetry. And I was really amped up yesterday. I tweeted on this and I wanted to take a day to relax because I was getting angry at this. I just hate using these terms, but this is what it's being called. This woke culture is poison to our society, is poison to me, is poison to our children, and it has to stop. So let's think critically through this. Here's an example of problematic, insensitive material in one of Dr. Seuss's books.
A Chinese man who eats with sticks? A big magician doing tricks?
I've never read that one. I've never seen that one before. Could that one use a touch up and an update? Because some of these books were made in the 1930s, 40s, 50s. The world was different. So why are we banning it? Why don't we demand just update it? It's good to have people of different countries or regions, whether it's Asian or African or whatever the case may be, in a book. That's wonderful. Let's make sure we bring those depictions up to modern day standards and expectations. Don't cancel 6 books. Just update them. But fine. You know what? They decided to cancel the books. Why can't Joe Biden still talk about Dr. Seuss at the Read Across America Day? Donald Trump urged youngsters across the U.S. to always remember the still vibrant words of Dr. Seuss. You have brains in your head. You have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. Why can't Joe Biden say that? Why couldn't he drop that line and say, and so he could do it at the press conference for Read Across America Day and say, and someone's going to ask, well, have you heard about the 6 books that they had to cancel? And I could say I was raised on Dr. Seuss. I was not familiar with those 6 books. I would have preferred that those books be updated to modern day standards and include the diversity that they had before. But they made the decision to cancel it. That's fine. That's their choice. But I stand behind Dr. Seuss. And if you don't want to read Dr. Seuss, it's a free country. Don't read it. You can steer yourself in any direction you choose. That's an American value. We're losing the values. Like, these are like the founding values, like free speech, and we are losing that in this country. In 2014, Obama praised Dr. Seuss stories. He said they call us to open our minds, take responsibility for ourselves and our planet. Why is the response never to fight to keep the diversity, which you would think that would match whether you're on the right or the left or wherever you're at? You would want that. So why is the argument never to fight to keep diversity, just to update it? The same thing happened with Aunt Jemima. For whatever reasons, people were offended by Aunt Jemima. There was a change, uproar to change the picture, the depiction, and now we don't have Aunt Jemima on the bottles anymore. It's called Pearl Milling Company, which is fine. Why wasn't the fight to say, well, let's keep a black woman on the bottle, let's just update it? Now, they're a private company, they can do whatever they want, but why wasn't the pressure to keep that? Or you could do it. I'm from Cleveland, the Cleveland Indian symbol. Why is the pressure never to say, well, we can keep a Native American as your symbol, but let's update it? Why is that never? And then the Indians can do whatever they want to do. I think critically through that, and I don't know if I don't have all the magical answers. Please comment if you do have an opinion. I would love to hear it. To me, this is about control. It's not about racism. It's not about it's not about racial sensitivity. It's not about progress. It's about control. If it was about inclusion and diversity, that's what people would be fighting for, right? No, it's the fight to cancel change. On the website, Aunt Jemima said, "We're now Pearl Milling Company. We are committed to progress." So now we have no black women on the product. Do we think this is progress? Help me understand why this is progress and not regress. This is why does progress right now from the left mostly? I'm not left or right, but this strong arming is definitely coming from the left perspective. Why does it feel oddly like two hands wrapped around my throat, squeezing tighter? That's not what progress feels like. This is all in the same vein as banning people off of social media, canceling actors or actresses that their views are different than my views. That's not progress. That's squeezing things tighter and pissing people off and causing more anger and contention. Why aren't we speaking out against this? Why aren't people on the left pushing back against this? Canceling the 6 books isn't enough? I don't care if some of these great books that I read were written by a grand dragon or whatever they're called from the KKK. If the book is empowering me, if the book is coming from a place of love and it makes me better, I don't care about the author and their source. Now, I wouldn't want to buy it to fund them, but just from the standpoint of reading the book and teaching the lesson of the book to my children, I can I can analyze whether this book is productive or not. I don't know what's in somebody's heart. I guarantee you have read a book that you enjoy from somebody who believes something that you don't believe, from somebody who is racist, somebody who's sexist, somebody who strongly believes in something that you don't believe. But the book had nothing to do with that. And the book empowered you, or the movie empowered you, or the story empowered you. You don't know what's in somebody's heart. You will never know unless they tell you, unless they share it with you. And that still doesn't change the content of the book. There are beautiful things that can come from very troubled people. I'm not concerned about the troubles of that person when I'm reading that book to my kids or I'm reading that book myself. These books are beautiful poems. I'm a big hip hop fan. These books are nothing more than bars written for children and lessons for adults as well in a positive manner. One of the best books I have ever read This is regardless of children or any other genre. One of the best books I have ever read is a Dr. Seuss book. And I don't know if you can see it. It's called Oh the Places You'll Go. I hold this book near and dear to my heart. My sons and I, we've read this book probably 50 times or more. And when we read this book, we talk about what the meaning is behind the book. I don't care who wrote this book. This book is empowering. It doesn't matter to me what's in the heart of whoever wrote this book. The story in the book is empowering to me. I am not co-signing what's in the heart of somebody I don't even know. Where is our common sense? Where is our critical thinking? I know common sense is a dangerous word. Someone commented on one of my videos. It was a great comment because I use the phrase common sense a lot. And they're like, be careful because everyone's common sense is different. But I'm going to stick with saying that. If your common sense, I want you to trust yourself. If you read this book, I challenge you to read this book if you have not, and your common sense says this book is harmful for me, let me know. Comment and tell me why. And trust your common sense. Trust your common sense. Your common sense might be different than mine, and there's nothing wrong with that. My common sense tells me this book is amazing. So this book, I'm not going to read the whole book, but this book talks about successes. You are going to have, everyone's going to have different level of success in their life. You won't lag behind because you'll have the speed, you'll pass the whole gang, and you'll soon take the lead. Wherever you fly, you'll be the best of the best. Wherever you go, you will top all the rest. Except when you don't, because sometimes you won't. I'm sorry to say so, but sadly it's true that bang-ups and hang-ups can happen to you. You can get all hung up in a prickly perch, and your gang will fly on. You'll be left in a lurch. So what do? Everyone's going to have issues, problems in their lives. On and on you will hike, and I know you'll hike far and face up your problems, whatever they are. You'll get mixed up, of course, as you already know. You'll get mixed up with many strange birds as you go. So be sure when you step with care and great tact. And remember that life's a great balancing act. Just never forget to be dexterous and deft, and never mix up your right foot with your left. And will you succeed? Yes, you will indeed. 98.75% guaranteed. Kid, you'll move mountains. So be your name Buxbum or Bixby or Bray or Mordecai Alley Van Allen O'Shea. You're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting. So get on your way. Take care.